Hi, I'm Jim Bruce, and this was my first book. It's called Alex Q, and it's a science fiction. Like many people, I suspect, I started with an idea, with a story that I really wanted to tell. I knew how the story began, and I knew how it ended. And I had a good idea of the characters that I wanted to include. But this part of the book between the beginning and the ending was quite a mystery to me, how to structure it and how to write it. I began to write, and the plot and the story developed organically, and I really enjoyed it. A paid expert editor reviewed my manuscript afterwards and said although the story is good, the prose was definitely not. It needed a lot of work. I created this course so that new writers like yourself could have access to a set of tools that can be applied immediately to your prose to dramatically improve it. Guaranteed. This course is designed to give new writers, like you, the tools for improving their prose, and quickly. Keep in mind that professional authors don't magically produce great prose. They apply these exact same rules to make their writing easy and pleasant to read. Now, most people start to write a book because they have an idea that they believe would be appealing to other people. In my case, I started my first book with two things in my mind: how it begins and how it would end. Now, my own particular writing style is to get the words and ideas down on paper, to let the story grow and develop as a manuscript progresses. Now, your style may be very different. You might prefer to plan each chapter and have a good idea of what's going to happen before you start to write. Whatever the way you write, eventually you'll start to write prose in various forms as you tell your story. The three main types of prose are narration, which moves the story along; description, which gives the reader a sense of place or reality; and dialogue, which breathes life into characters through their speech. Now, everything inside your novel, everything you write, has one overriding goal: to tell the story. The way you put your words together may be grammatically correct and complex, but if the reader doesn't feel the urge to turn that page, it's all for nothing. All the writing rules in the world will not mean a thing if people do not want to know what happens to your character, or what happens throughout and at the end of the book. That said, there are certain conventions that make the written word easier to read, and inevitably making it easier for the storyteller to engage the reader. For the beginning novelist, the massive amount of advice and information available on the subject of creating writing can be confusing. It is a skill like any other, and it can be learned. However, it's not something that we would wish to try and learn completely before we start to write. We need to write to learn how to write and apply the tools along the way. In this course, you will learn some simple rules that can be applied to your prose right now to improve its flow and appeal. Sign up now, and I'll see you inside.